right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Can anybody verify you can hear me? I'm having a little bit of trouble with GoGuardian this morning. Can somebody just give me a thumbs up or?
I can hear you.
Okay,
We can hear you.
very good. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good morning.
Hello again, Miss Hoy. Hello again.
Hello.
All right. Just another minute or so, guys. Excuse me. It looks like we are close to having a capacity classroom, so I think it might be wise to get started. So, real quick, kids, before I turn it over to Miss Hoy, just a minor change as far as the format of the day is concerned. Office hours have changed. If you recall, they were later in the afternoon. I believe administration feels that it would be better for you guys to contact us right after the live day is over. So office hours have been changed from 10:30 to 11:45. And again, they're going to call it extra help, not so much office hours now. So if you guys need a Google Meet, you need to get in touch with us, you're going to want to do it right after the live sessions are over at 10:30. So you guys, obviously you can reach out to us anytime during the course of the school day, but immediate concerns will be handled during that extra help period from 10:30 to 11:45. And real quick, and Miss Hoy, I don't know if you noticed, they didn't update the system again. So there certainly is a chance she may get booted. If that does happen, I'll end the session. We'll start a new one to get Miss Hoy back. Hopefully, we'll be okay, but we're rolling the dice right now. So that said, Miss Hoy, they're all yours.
Okay. Good morning and happy Friday. So today we're first going to just do a Kahoot to help you guys review for your upcoming quiz on Monday, and then we're going to switch gears into the vice presidential debate, and we're just going to analyze some of that and discuss how they answered the questions. So let me get the Kahoot ready. Oh, God. I turn the music off. I don't. All right. Is it up? The code up?
You're good.
Okay. So we're just going to start. Just use that code, sign in, we'll get started. Who's Stomp? Oh. Who's You Lost Me?
Believe me, I'll take some of these names over the ones I've seen in the past. Sorry, believe
They're
me.
all fine.
Believe me.
Kind of short on names. There's only about like 16 names up right now. There's about 27 of you.
We got 5 absent today, just so
Five,
you're aware.
oh, that's no.
So all right, there it looks like almost everybody's there. I can see by some people's screens that there's internet issues. So just
All right.
give everybody one more minute and then we'll get
Then
started.
we'll get started. Okay. All right. I'm going to get started. So, Chapter 2, Part 1, Origins of American Government. Question 1. The term bicameral refers to a government with a blank House legislator. 1, 2, 3, or 119. Remember bi. Briefly discussed it a few days ago. Two, yes. Most people got that. Yeah, bi. Like a bicycle, 2 wheels. All right, Jules on top. TD3's in second place. Gabby, Beatrice, and Josh are all on the leaderboard. Number 2, in 1215, King John was forced to sign what, which limited the power of the monarchy? The Declaration of Independence, the Petition of Right, the Magna Carta, or the Rights of Man? What was he first forced to sign? Yes, the Magna Carta. First time the king's power was limited. Oh, TD3 is on top now, and Gabby's in second place. All right, question 3. Of the 3 types of the colonies, which is most closely tied to the king? Proprietary, charter, republican, or royal? Which of those 4 is most closely tied to the king? Tripping over my words a bit, sorry. Royal, yes. King's royalty. And TD3 stays on top, but Josh comes into second place. Who is TD3? Or T3D? I'm reading it backwards. Which of the following is not one of the important English ideas in which our government is founded on? Representative government, individual rights, limited government, or direct democracy? Which is not one of the most important English ideas. Direct democracy, yes. We have a representative. T3D. I'm sorry, I kept mixing around the 3 and the D, but Josh is on top now. Gabby's in second again. And then the Mayflower, which 10% of Americans can draw their heritage from, landed in Plymouth Rock, which is in Pennsylvania, Texas, Massachusetts, or New Jersey. Where did they land? Yes, Massachusetts, not Pennsylvania. Plymouth Rock, not Plymouth Meeting. Josh is still on top. Blank refers to money a government collects from taxes and other sources. Budget, embargo, revenue, or size. Revenue, yes. Not embargo. We'll get into that in a few more questions. But now Gabby's on top. Josh fell to second place. And then blank were secret colonial groups who organized protests against the British. It was at the First Continental Congress, the Sons of Liberty, the Redcoats, or the Loyalists. Who organized all those protests? Sons of Liberty, yes. No one picked Loyalists. Good job. All right, the leaderboard stays the same. What was the purpose of Samuel Adams forming the Committee of Correspondence? Was it to inform the colonies of British actions, to encourage loyalty to the king, to collect taxes, or to carry out acts of violence? What was his purpose? Yes. Oh, wow. Almost everyone got that. To inform the colonies of British actions. 1770s social media. Leaderboard stays the same. And the refusal to conduct trade with another country is known as a petition, budget, embargo, or quartering. I mentioned one of these a few questions ago. Embargo. Yes, we currently have one with Cuba. We refuse to trade with another country. Gabby stays on top, but T3D comes back onto the leaderboard. Josh is in second. Creating a leg, an example of a legislative branch, example, the judicious branch of government is closely related to what type of American democracy? Individual rights, separation of powers, self-government, or limited government? What principle of American democracy? I'm sorry. Separation of powers. Yeah, that might have been my fault for some confusion. I tripped over my words a bit. Yeah. All right. Joel goes into second place now, but Gabby stays on top. And then the first battle of the Revolutionary War took place at the Boston Tea Party, the French and Indian War, Lexington and Concord, or the Boston Massacre. Where did the first battle take place? Lexington and Concord, yes. Shot heard around the world. All right. Gabby, you're still in first place. And then the only state to not send delegates to the First Continental Congress was either Georgia, Pennsylvania, New York, or Virginia. Which of those were the only ones who did not send a delegate? Georgia, yes. They were having some of their own issues with surrounding Native American tribes, and they wanted the British soldiers there for their own protection. All right. The British response to the Boston Tea Party was to hang those responsible, pass the Intolerable Acts, abolish the Stamp Act, or to require a loyalty oath. How did they respond? Yeah, pass the Intolerable Acts. They took away the right to self-govern. Gabby's still on top. Jules in second place. Taxes on legal documents imposed by the British on the colonists were referred to as the Stamp Act, the Albany Plan of Union, the Tea Tax, or the Townshend Acts. They put a tax on all paper goods. Stamp Act, yes. Almost everyone got that. Okay. More than halfway through, which of the following is not a result of the French and Indian War? The British were left with a massive debt. The colonists were less reliant on the British for their safety. The British and the colonists formed a close bond, or the French were defeated by the British and the colonists. 3 of these happened. Which one did not? The British and the colonists formed a close bond. Yeah, they did not. The opposite happened. Tensions rose. Okay, 16. In colonial times, the term quarter refers to increased taxes, soldiers in people's homes, peaceful protests, or letters to the king. What did the term quarter mean? Yeah, soldiers in people's home. Quartering soldiers. Colonists hate that so much it became part of our own Constitution and our Declaration of Independence. The Mayflower Compact was an agreement by the colonists to rule by majority, which is closest to which theory of government? Force, social contract, evolutionary, or divine right. They agreed to rule by the majority. They agreed to give up some rights to ensure peace and easy. Think back to chapter 1. Social contract, yes. Oh, Jewel took first place. Gabby fell to second. The first successful British colony started in 1607 in Jamestown, Philadelphia, Plymouth, or Lexington and Concord. Where was it? Remember John Rolfe. Jamestown, yes. Jamestown, Virginia. Gabby took first place back, though. The House of Commons and the House of Lords in English Parliament is similar to what in the U.S.? The Democrats and Republicans, the Supreme Court and Congress, the President and Vice President, or the Senate and the House of Representatives? What takes inspiration from the House of Commons and the House of Lords? Senate and the House of Representatives, yes. This is, remember, the foundations of our government and what inspirations we took from England. 20. A main goal of the Second Continental Congress was to raise an army, to swear loyalty to the king, to encourage colonists to head west, or to increase taxes. What was the main goal? Remember, this was after Lexington and Concord. So what would be a priority? Okay, yeah, to raise an army. Before we just really had a militia. We needed professional soldiers. Gabby's still in first place. Blank was the original author of the Declaration of Independence. Was it Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, John Hancock, or Thomas Jefferson? Who was the original author? Thomas Jefferson, yeah, he wrote it. The other guys all took part in it, though. All of the following can be considered causes of the American Revolution, except no taxation without representation, the Merchant Act, the Intolerable Acts, or the Stamp Act. Which of those were not? a cause of the American Revolution. One of these you've never heard me or Mr. Morris say before. Yeah, the Merchant Act. Oh, Joel goes back to first place. And ideas from Britain, such as no cruel or unusual punishment, right to a speedy trial, are seen in what part of the U.S. Constitution? The preamble, the amendments, Article 1, or Section 2? Last question. Amendments, yes. All right. Remember our 8th Amendment. Third place in the bronze is Thump. 2 is Gabby with silver. And the first place gold medal goes to Jewel. Congratulations. Runners up were You Lost Me and T3D. Okay. So I'm going to exit out of that. Now we're going to switch gears to the vice presidential debate. I know Beatrice mentioned yesterday that there was a bug on Mike Pence's head. I don't know if anyone watched any other parts of it. If not, it's fine. We're gonna watch some parts of it today. I just want you guys to go into Schoology and pull up this document. How much time do we have? Okay. Right here. I'm just going to briefly go over these questions before we get into the video. So we went over some similar questions to these with the presidential debate, but what do you think the purpose behind holding these televised vice presidential debates? Does anyone remember what we said about why we do it for the presidential one? Why do you think? What's the purpose behind it? How about Kahoot winner number 1?
To understand why the president chose them as their running mate.
Yeah, that wasn't mentioned in first period. Thank you for bringing that up. So why the president chose this person to be their vice presidential candidate. Also, what we talked about with the president, to ask them, so we ask them questions and see where they stand on important issues to the American people. List 3 issues that will be major topics of the debate. Taxes are always brought up, most likely COVID, race relations, the economy. But question that we didn't go over for the presidential debate was why, in terms of who the vice president is the upcoming election the most important ever? So why is this election so important, who our vice president is? In the past, it wasn't as important because politically, the vice president doesn't hold too much power. They can break a tie in the Senate, but other than that, they don't have all that much power. However, at the same time, they're also one step away from being the president. And why is in this presidential election, why does it matter so much who our vice president is? Maybe think of the age of our presidents.
To see if one passes away, then they can don't they take over?
Yeah.
And so if they have the same image or same for the country and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. A president could die and then they become president, and or maybe not even die, but they could get incapacitated, they could get sick, and that gets in the way of them doing their job. And right now we have a global pandemic on that we've been stressing kills old people, and we're about to have whoever wins, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, we're going to have the oldest president ever. So I'm going to switch to the video, and I'm going to keep you all on your toes, because we're going to, while this debate was much more civil than the presidential debate, a lot of the criticism surrounding it was that Senator Harris or Vice President Pence, they were dodging questions a lot. They were dancing around the question. So I'm going to play a clip. We're going to listen to a question, listen to how they answer it. And then I'm going to call on someone. I'm going to ask you if you thought they answered the question. And why do you think that? Just back up. If you say yes or no, or sort of just back it up with what you heard. So the first question we're going to listen to goes back to the second question on the worksheet. 50.
Tell us that we should take it. I'll be the first in line to take it. Absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Okay, so here comes the question. And I'm sharing my screen, correct? Am I sharing? Is the video up, Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Video's up. You're good.
Vice President Pence, there have been a lot of repercussions from this pandemic. In recent days, the president's diagnosis of COVID-19 has underscored the importance of the job that you hold and that you are seeking. That's our second topic tonight. It's the role of the vice president. One of you will make history on January 20th. You will be the vice president to the oldest president the United States has ever had. Donald Trump will be 74 years old on Inauguration Day. Joe Biden will be 78 years old. That already has raised concerns among some voters, concerns that have been sharpened by President Trump's hospitalization in recent days. Vice President Pence, have you had a conversation or reached an agreement with President Trump about safeguards or procedures when it comes to the issue of presidential disability? And if not, do you think you should? You have 2 minutes without interruption.
Well, Susan, thank you. Although I would like to go back.
I think we need to move on
well,
to the
thank
issue
you,
of
but I would like to
vice
go back
presidency.
because the reality is that we're going to have a vaccine, Senator, in record time, in unheard of time, in less than a year. We have 5 companies in phase 3 clinical trials, and we're right now producing tens of millions of doses. So the fact that you continue to undermine public confidence in a vaccine, if the vaccine emerges during the Trump administration, I think is unconscionable. And Senator, I just ask you, stop playing politics with people's lives. The reality is that we will have a vaccine, we believe, before the end of this year. And it will have the capacity to save countless American lives. And your continuous undermining of confidence in a vaccine is it's just unacceptable. And let me also say, the reality is when you talk about failure in this administration, we actually do know what failure looks like in a pandemic. It was 2009. The swine flu arrived in the United States.
Just 'cause we're a little short on time, I'm going to ask Evelyn, because you're right there. Are you with us?
Yeah.
Hey, okay. So Vice President Pence, he was just asked if he had a conversation with President Trump, or if they came to an agreement about any safeguards or procedures put in place, and if they have, because of his age, and if they haven't, should they have that conversation? Do you think he answered the question?
To be honest, a problem with the computer, it kicked me out and I just logged back in. And all I heard was that they might have a vaccine for the end of the year. That's the only part I heard.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's actually okay. So if that was the only part you heard, would you say he answered the question or not? If he was asked if he's had any conversations with President Trump about any safeguards put in place about Trump's age, and he responded with the vaccine, would you say that's answering the question? It's okay if you're
Yeah, I'm a bit confused.
okay. Yeah. Lauren, are you there?
I wouldn't think so, just because that was out of the point. Like, yes, we do have a vaccine, but that didn't answer the question at all. Like, did Trump really do that or whatever? So,
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Thank you. So no, he didn't really answer the question. He wanted to go back to the vaccine. All right. So another point in the debate. How about we go to, I have a lot of stopping points. Let's jump all the way to 37.
And wildfires to try and
Thank
sell
you,
their
Vice
bill of
President
goods of a
Pence.
Green New Deal. And President Trump and I are going to always put
Thank you,
American
Vice
jobs and
President
American
Pence.
workers first.
Senator Harris, as the Vice President mentioned, you co-sponsored the Green New Deal in Congress. But Vice President Biden said in last week's debate that he does not support the Green New Deal. But if you look at the Biden-Harris campaign website, it describes the Green New Deal as a crucial framework. What exactly would be the stance of a Biden-Harris administration toward the Green New Deal? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Sure. So first of all, I will repeat, and the American people know, that Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact. That is a fact. I will repeat that Joe Biden has been very clear that he thinks about growing jobs, which is why he will not increase taxes for anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. Joe Biden's economic plan, Moody's, which is a reputable Wall Street firm, has said will create 7 million more jobs than Donald Trump's. And part of those jobs that will be created by Joe Biden are going to be about clean energy and renewable energy. Because you see, Joe understands that the west coast of our country is burning, including my home state of California. Joe sees what is happening on the Gulf states, which are being battered by storms. Joe has seen and talked with the farmers in Iowa, whose entire crops have been destroyed because of floods. And so Joe believes, again, in science. I'll tell you something, Susan. I served, when I first got to the Senate, on the committee that's responsible for the environment. Do you know this administration took the word science off the website and then took the phrase climate change off the website? We have seen a pattern. They don't believe in science. And Joe's plan is about saying we're going to deal with it, but we're also going to create jobs. Donald Trump, when asked about the wildfires in California, and the question was, the science is telling us this, you know what Donald Trump said? Science doesn't know.
Okay. So, how about Joshua? You there?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. So Kamala Harris, she was just asked what exactly would be the stance of a Biden-Harris administration toward the Green New Deal. Would you say she answered the question? Or did she?
Not really.
No, what'd she do instead?
She went around it.
Yeah. Do you remember anything she said specifically?
No, I'm gonna be honest, I don't. I got a phone call during that.
That's okay. All right. No, she didn't really. She said they had a plan. We know that they're not against fracking and they want clean energy, but she never mentioned the term Green New Deal or what inspirations they necessarily took from the Green New Deal. Only about 5 minutes left, so we're just going to do one more question before you guys move on to fourth block. So I don't know if we have any more time.
First, I'd like you to respond first to the question on our final topic, the election itself. President Trump has several times refused to commit himself to a peaceful transfer of power after the election. If your ticket wins and President Trump refuses to accept a peaceful transfer of power, what steps would you and Vice President Biden then take? What would happen next? You have 2 minutes.
So I'll tell you, Joe and I are, I think, particularly proud of the coalition that we've built around our campaign. We probably have one of the broadest coalitions of folks that you've ever seen in a presidential race. Of course, we have the support of Democrats, but also independents and Republicans. In fact, 7 members of President George W. Bush's cabinet are supporting our ticket. We have the support of Colin Powell, Cindy McCain, John Kasich, over 500 generals, retired generals, and former national security experts and advisors are supporting our campaign. And I believe they are doing that because they know that Joe Biden has a deep, deep-seated commitment to fight for our democracy and to fight for the integrity of our democracy and to bring integrity back to the White House. And so we believe in the American people. We believe in our democracy. And here's what I'd like to say to everybody. Vote. Please vote. Vote early. Come up with a plan to vote. Go to iwillvote.com. You can also go to joebiden.com. We have it within our power in these next 27 days to make the decision about what will be the course of our country for the next 4 years. And it is within our power. And if we use our vote and we use our voice, we will win. And we will not let anyone subvert our democracy with what Donald Trump has been doing, as he did on the debate stage last week, when again in front of 70 million people, he openly attempted to suppress the vote. Joe Biden, on the other hand, on that same debate stage, because clearly Donald Trump doesn't think he can run on a record because it's a failed record, Joe Biden on that stage said, hey, just please vote. So I'll repeat what Joe said. Please vote.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll just, let's see. Hopefully someone wasn't having. Justin Lawrence, are you there? Are you there, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay. So Senator Harris, she was just asked if her ticket wins and President Trump refuses to accept a peaceful transfer of power, what steps would she and Biden take? What would happen next? Do you think she answered that question?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. How about, are you there, Beatrice? I saw your.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. So I was going to say, I don't really think she did, but like, because she was just saying, oh, we have these people on our side, this and that. So I don't really think she answered it that well. It could have been like answered better, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm looking for. In her defense, what could she really say? If they were going to storm the White House, if he says no, we won't transfer power. But yeah, she just said who was on her side, and she told us to vote. But she didn't directly answer the question, which is how a lot of this went, was them just indirectly answering questions or not answering them at all. We only have a minute left, though. Wish we had more time. Otherwise, I would force you guys to do more of this. But looks like we're running out. Anyway, just answer. I believe we didn't get to the last question on the worksheet. It was just the post-debate questions. I believe there's a small clip that I can send, but yeah, just this question right here at the bottom. Based on the brief video, who do you think was the winner of the debate? Which vice presidential candidate impressed you most? Who made the strongest arguments for their case? And was there anything the candidates did or said that really connected with you? or perhaps annoyed you, like not answering questions. All right. That's it, though, for today. Good luck. Remember, you have your quiz coming up Monday. Sorry, today's Friday. And hope you all have a nice weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.